And here in Starkville, we got Jackson Kennedy, Zion Cochran, Dima Mixon here for a wild contest that you just watched. I think we all pretty much nailed this game, thinking it was going to be close. Final score, Mississippi State 41, Southern Miss 22, Starkville. Obviously not a close game on the scorecard, but 7 minutes left. Southern Miss prepares to have a 96-yard touchdown. Brought Southern Miss with one score to the Bulldogs. It really felt like there was a chance there, and defense would play good all game, and they led a 65 or so yard touchdown from Missouri State running back. Actually just came back today, trying to get past them. What do you see in this game? Southern Miss 20-16.
I want to say, wants to show like a lot of run, a lot of hard hit. I came into this game thinking that not coming, they wouldn't be bringing up a good fight against this Mississippi State Bulldogs team. However, it was a complete opposite. If you want to see the ESPN stat in the box stats and just look at the end of the game, it says 41-20. But however, if you go in person and saw this game on television or in person, like I, Jackson, Dima was, that was a complete opposite. This team was a relatively close game throughout the entire game. I believe going to halftime it was 16-7, and then even in the third quarter, in the early fourth quarter stage, it was 26-20 at one point. MSU was leading this game, but this team, this is going to need to show up a lot of pride, guys. It was more or less surprising, if I'm being completely honest. But and as Coach Will Hall said in his interview earlier, you'll be seeing that on the page. I believe this game came within 5 or 6 plays of maybe this game being a different result for the football team. I want to give a shout out to Ethan Crawford, Billy Wiles, Frank Gore, the offensive line. They really surprised me today. I was thinking that maybe they would get eaten up by that defensive line of Mississippi State, but they showed off, and it was really impressive. There was a lot of times when the quarterbacks had 5 or 6 seconds of time in that pocket to throw the ball and get their reads and checks in. But obviously the Golden Eagles lost this game, but Mississippi pride, everything was shown off in this game, Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson, so Southern Miss got outgained by a lot. It wasn't really a close game on the stats. So if you look at this game in 10 years, close. Defense played outstanding today. I think the game was won actually when we're standing here in the red zone. Southern Miss, I think, forced 3 field goals inside the 20, which in just moments where you just had to have it. I think it was 13-7 right before the half. Mississippi State was down here. I mean, if they score right there, it's hard, right? They force a field goal to make it 16-7. You're like, okay, they got a chance. Obviously, Mississippi State went down the field to open the half, but you've got to give a lot of credit to this defense who, in a lot of areas, is the reason why Southern Miss has its record.
Yeah, the defense is not good to start this season. I don't know whether it was players not executing, whether it was just incredibly poor defensive play calling, but for a long time, for a span of couple weeks, Southern Miss was dead last. At one point, they were allowing 39 points per game. That is not at all. There's really no sunshine coming. There's no beat around the building. Defense came in. I think one of the best things about that, and one of the biggest players Dan O'Brien has got 2 bombs. Every single game that Dan O'Brien has had 2 bombs, the defense is stand. So you need to put the puzzle pieces in the right spots and make it happen. One thing that I think lost this game, Southern Miss, as soon as Southern Miss gets a lead, in any game whatsoever, I have watched football. They stopped trying to win. They just started trying to not win. They started playing defense. And one thing, forgive me for being a little harsh, but as soon as that first touchdown was had, and Southern Miss goes up 7-0, the offense was just neutered. The play calling was neutered. You just run it up the middle 3 times. Oh, let's just go ahead and play field position. This is not the game to do that. This is not the game. This is not the place to do that. You want to recruit, you want to build a program, and you're doing it the right way, play consistently. Have the energy from that first drive throughout the entire game. This isn't an attack on all the players. It is an attack on the play calling and the decisions right there. Because those decisions stopped the Southern Miss from capitalizing on momentum every single sport we're playing. especially football, where it is so physically demanding, where it is the most complex and the biggest, most collaborative team sport there is. It relies so heavily on momentum. The defense is going to play better than the offense is getting it all. If they see the offense just run 3 plays right up the gut and nothing happens, it's not gonna motivate them. So Southern Miss did not capitalize on the momentum they had for the entire first quarter they were leading. So because of that, because the play calling just kind of stopped, they had that intensity, they had that fire. It was a 3-4 play drive to get a touchdown. It was incredible. And then after that, they just slowed down. And then once they lost the lead, you saw them airing it out. You saw incredible plays from Billy Wiles, Crawford, Ford Jr., Jamarius Gaston. But why didn't we see that all 6 minutes? We've seen that all 6 minutes in the score fast. So that is what lost the game for Southern Miss. But overall, there's really nothing to hang your hat about for Crawford and Billy Wiles. Billy Wiles, that interception was a very, very poor throw. Other than that, he had a pretty bad game. Scrambling, running when he needed to. It's very difficult for a starting quarterback for the entire season in the most important game of the season. And he doesn't get it. And when he comes in after injury, I was impressed by the side of the I was impressed by the offensive line. Our defense is incredible, but just couldn't have played.
Yeah, as Jackson was saying, so Southern goes 5 plays, 57 yards in a minute 40 to take the lead against Mississippi State. And I feel like when they threw that touchdown pass to Breakmore, it was like, I mean, it was crazy. It was like a surreal moment. I got so many texts like this today, and I was like, it's like, it's good. But as I said on our pregame show, this is exactly what happens every single SEC time game that I've seen as a Southern Miss fan growing up and as a journalist. They stick it close, and then eventually that depth and that speed eventually just takes away, and that's kind of what happened. The defense played so well up until that final drive where, the reason these teams are so completely different is because they have a second string running back or first string running back who can go 15 for 60 yards. Then they'll bring in the second string running back, and he's just as good as the first string. I think the first string guy was the one who scored a touchdown. But it's just that depth, and I think it really hurt him. But as Jackson was saying, so 5 plays, 57 yards, Southern Miss in the first touchdown. Then the 3 and out, a 3 and out,
Oh my God.
a punt, turnover on downs, 3 and out, 10-play, 20-yard drive, and then the touchdown eventually to Jamarius Gaston. So the offense went absolutely non-existent for probably about 70% of the game. Like Jackson's saying, I don't know if that's necessarily all on play calling, but I think it says a lot about, it really, really hurt them when Ethan Crawford went out. I think that was a big moment. That fumble was the turning point of the game.
And absolutely, I want to re-emphasize the heart of this team because there were times during the season against Old Dominion and South Alabama where I saw a team on the sideline, it's going to be a team on the sideline losing heart. I would see the South Alabama fans eating up the Golden Eagle football players on the bench. But this weekend, those Bulldog fans did not talk trash. They feared the Golden Eagles coming to this game, guys. And I really mean that. I'm not just spewing out hot air. This Bulldog crowd feared them. Of course, there was some, talking this, that, and the third. But there were times in this game where I seen this Bulldog crowd, and I know some fans here. There were times where they was like, "Oh man, I'm scared. I don't believe we can pull this out. Mississippi State has been inconsistent all year. I think this might be USM's game to win." Obviously, that wasn't the case. And as you guys were talking about the offense, outside of that first drive, they hit him in the mouth. They came to punch him in the face, game one on the chin. And when you have that happen against, especially an SEC school, and one of the toughest opponents you have all this year outside of Florida State, you have to keep the momentum going, as Jackson said. You have to air that bang out, man. Not just up the middle, not HB dive, 3 and out. That's not how it's working with the top tier schools, the top tier programs in all the country. And SEC school. And that was against future NFL players, guys. This isn't, not no disrespect to, the likes of maybe Arkansas State or you're playing against future NFL players. Yes. You're playing against future NFL players on this mission here. Came out, hit him in the mouth. I would love to see Jordan Joseph, Will Hall, or whomever come out and air that thing down on the second and third drive. Show that you're not scared, or fearful of this MSU defense. Although they're tough, you have to show that you're not fearful. And obviously that didn't happen. And if you're an offensive player, you would like to see. I believe they wanted to see some airing out the ball, some maybe some there was some wildcat involved, maybe some more wildcat, 20-yard, 30-yard throws. Those are my thoughts on that, guys.
Yeah, and as you said, I think this game came down to about 4 or 5 plays. It really did. I feel like if Southern Miss were to win this game, it would have been the stops to force field goals. I thought that was just unbelievably crucial. Because Mississippi State wasn't really having trouble moving the ball up and down between the 20s, I guess, or 30s, whatever you want to say. And they just couldn't score in here. I don't think so. Mississippi State even scored in the red zone outside of that one big play on the back end, which was a terrific play design, by the way. I just want to give credit to Mississippi State. No penalty, a perfect big play. And Jay Stanley ran right into it, so it was a perfect design. But anyways, so you got to give credit to the defense, but really the 3 plays I think that just killed Southern Miss was obviously the Ethan Crawford fumble, which you got to give credit to the defense for not allowing a touchdown there. They held them to a field goal when Mississippi State was inside the 10, and that just changed the complexity of the game because it hurt his throwing arm. And as we saw later in the game when he tried to deep ball to Latrell Jones, he couldn't even get it there. It wasn't even remotely close. He was very lucky that wasn't intercepted. And then obviously, like Jackson's saying, I think Southern Miss had so many opportunities to maybe even extend that early lead, and they just didn't. And you just can't do that against an SEC school, and you can't throw pick sixes, and you can't have unsportsmanlike penalties that kill drives, all that stuff. That the simple mistakes, we were talking about in the Florida State game, and obviously that game was what it was. But in games where the margin for error is so small that any one mistake that you could maybe make against ULL, or you can maybe make against Old Dominion, you make it here, you're losing the game, and that's what happened. And Southern Miss lost 41-20 here in Starkville. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go right. We're going to go edit photos and edit this video, and we're going to get back to Hattiesburg next weekend for Southern Miss and Troy. But at the end of the day, you've got to give a lot of credit to Southern Miss coming into this stadium, 18-point underdogs, and really, taking Mississippi State down to the final quarter. Better teams, I would argue, in 2019 and 2015, whenever Mississippi State, Southern Miss went to the conference championship in 2015, and they didn't even take Mississippi State down in the fourth quarter. So you got to give a lot of credit to this team for coming in here and really showing fire, and I think it shows there's definite positives going forward. And maybe this resides next weekend against Troy, maybe it doesn't, but I think Ethan Crawford, he's going to be good, and I think he liked nothing more than to burn his red shirt today and ball out like he did. So that's Jackson Kennedy, that's Zion Cochran, I'm Dima Mixon here in Starkville after Mississippi State 41, Southern Miss 20. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back in Hattiesburg this week.